Hi, my name is Dr. Peter Lind. I'm a wellness chiropractor specializing in chronic, metabolic, and neurological health conditions. I've been in practice in Salem, Oregon since 1988. Most doctors treat a symptom or an organ, not the whole person. Our people are treated metabolically and neurologically. Why? Well, most chronic conditions have many things in common, such as oxygen deprivation and types of anemia and imbalances in blood sugar dysregulation, cortisol and other hormone imbalances, digestive disorders, autoimmune attacks, and brain imbalances. So if you understand how your body functions, you can appreciate how it can break down, then you know how it can be fixed. Treating symptoms with medications is like putting air in a flat tire and never finding out what made it go flat in the first place, but keep putting air in over and over again. Well, today I want to talk to you specifically about thyroid. And there's a lot to talk about, and we only have just a few minutes. So several organs that we need to cover before we talk about the thyroid specifically is your pituitary gland. Your pituitary produces a hormone called TSH. That travels to the thyroid and tells the thyroid either to speed up or to slow down. So you've heard of TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. If your thyroid is functioning very low, you have a lot of TSH. When you have a lab panel, your TSH will go up. If your thyroid is functioning pretty high, pretty fast, your TSH will be very low. And so it's not giving a lot of input into the thyroid to make it work because it's already working too much. But that's only part of the picture. You've got other organs and glands that are involved, and I'll talk to you about that. What about your pineal gland? What about your pancreas? What about glucagon and insulin? These all affect the thyroid. And the thyroid is the metabolic system. It controls the metabolism of your entire body. Every cell is affected by the thyroid. How do you know what's going on with these glands and organs? Well, by testing. And testing unlike you've ever had. See, there are two kinds of testing that we do. The first is a complete laboratory analysis. But this is not in pathological ranges that you've had, but functional ranges. In the past, you've had lab markers come back and maybe they've been normal, but you need to know that there are functional ranges that every number falls into. A pathological range of TSH may be like between 0.5 and 5. Once you hit those numbers, you have a pathology of thyroid. But when you look at this functionally, the functional ranges are 1.8 to 3.0. That's a tight, narrow range. And what I'm looking at is how you're going, where you're going. Not where you are, but how your body is working. If you're outside my functional range, we've got to do things now to turn it around to help your body improve and heal. See, we're looking for breakdowns and malfunctions in multiple systems in your body to find the underlying cause of the problem before it turns pathological. So we're going to check your thyroid panel, not just TSH, but T3 and T4. Those are the chemicals or hormones that come out of your thyroid gland. But also, we'll do a complete metabolic workup. We want to check the lipid panel. We want to check vitamin D levels, which have a profound influence on your immune system. A complete blood chemistry with differentials. We want to see if you're fighting a hidden infection. We want to do a DNA testing or sensitivity testing of the antigens that you may be sensitive to. A number of years ago, I wrote a book called Barren Harvest. It's a genetically modified novel, and the topic is genetically modified foods and how they've gotten into our food supply. And these are foods unlike we've had in the history of the world. And I think we're going to really have some problems over the next several years because of these foreign antigens. Our bodies have to respond to them, and it's how that does it that we begin to break down. We want to run adrenal stress tests to find out what your adrenal glands are, and the cortisol output, which has to do with your sleep and other hormone regulations. And important for your thyroid is the immune system. If you have any autoimmunity or autoimmune flare-ups, it could be affecting your thyroid and it not be a thyroid problem, but an immune problem. So we need to find that out. We test hormone panels. They are important because of depression or fatigue or mental fogginess, hot flashes or sweating, weight gain. Those types of things are important to test out. Inflammatory markers such as C-reactive protein and homocysteine. See, we're looking for several deal breakers in your thyroid issue that must be addressed if you're going to get well and move beyond the problems you have. One is blood sugar, and I'll talk about this in a moment. The other is fatty acids like cholesterol. If that's imbalanced, you can't get well. If you have any type of anemia, you've got to get that fixed before you can move on. Liver and digestive imbalances, and of course, like I mentioned, autoimmune problems. To understand what is affecting your health, you need to be evaluated completely. We are past the days of, here, try this and see if it works. Today we can find out, and we need to find out. So metabolic testing is one half the equation. The other half is evaluating your nerve system. Your brain and nerve system need two things to survive: glucose and oxygen. If these are faulty, your brain is faulty, and the rest of your body suffers. So we're going to test you neurologically. Some of these tests include tissue oxygen perfusion or saturation, reflexes, eye tests, cranial nerve tests, cerebellar tests. See, the spinal cord carries energy from the brain through the rest of your organs to the rest of your organs like a river. Each cell is completely dependent on that energy to stay alive and well. As long as the brain is receiving proper amount of input, there's sufficient amount of output. But if the input is not good, you can't send correct messages to the rest of your body. And then there'll be problems. The brain's going to misfire. Problems of misfiring are such things as depression, anxiety, loss of memory, loss of sensation, irritability or anger, balance disorders, dizziness, and on and on. When the brain doesn't get the rest of the impulses to the rest of the body, you get damage to the nerves. It's not caused by a lack of a drug. They don't fix the problem anyways. To fix the problems, you have to find out what's going on, and that's done through examination. What parts of the brain need help? You have to test out neurologically. What parts of the metabolic system need help? You have to test this metabolically. And you have to look at the functional ranges, not the pathological ranges. You have to look at the blood sugar, the massive amounts of thyroid hormones coming out, to see if it's an autoimmune problem, to see what it is structurally and metabolically. Metabolic programs may include customized programs of vitamins, minerals, supplements designed to target the imbalances that we found. We customize nutritional programs such as what to eat, what not to eat. From the sensitivity test, what foods you need to get rid of and never see again, when to eat, and how to eat. Some of the brain-based therapies, all neurologically based and clinically proven, and may include exercise with oxygen to push oxygen deeper in the cells that are starving, unilateral spinal adjustments, microcurrent electrical stimulation, spinal decompression, specific brain stimulations such as auditory or visual, therapeutic movements. It just depends on what we find neurologically that you need help with. You see, all health problems are combinations of causes. Most health problems are syndromes involving multiple systems. Correcting the brain misfiring and metabolic dysfunctions helps the body to reassemble itself back to health. And retesting lets us know we are on the right track with our treatment programs and allows us to make correctional changes quickly. We treat the whole person by striving to bring all the pieces of the puzzle together at the same time. Well, so here's what to do. We begin with a 2-visit program. You call our office and schedule an appointment. You fill out the paperwork while you're waiting to get in and have it on my desk and any recent lab work you may have before your first visit. Then on that first visit, I'll go over with you what's going on with your symptoms, and I'll even perform a functional neurological exam, and then you'll be dismissed for that day. Then the second visit, we're going to review the neurological findings from visit 1 and discuss why I am or am not able to accept your case. If your case is accepted,